Greetings, CIS110 students. One of the things that I like to do is to provide a quick overview of our course and to help you figure out how to navigate through it. We are within the student portal right here, and this is where you have an opportunity to log into Blackboard, to go to Office 365, which is where your student email and the web versions of Word, Excel, and PowerPoint are located. And there's a couple other options that look a little bit different for me than they will for you. But one of the other things that you do have is it should be student resources. You will have IT support here. So if there are any issues, if you have trouble accessing the course or getting to log into the course, or if anything is not working IT-wise within the course, you can click on IT support, and that is a 24/7 resource for you. So within quick links, and if we were to click on Office 365 and click on continue, this will bring you to your student version of Microsoft 365. This is the web version of it. So everything that you do here is on the internet, and that is where your student email is right here, is called Outlook. If you click on that, that will bring you to your inbox. Teams is a meeting program, and then Word, Excel, and PowerPoint are three programs that we will explore during this course. Now, if we go into Blackboard, and I'm in the student view, so everything that you see on my screen here is what you can see on your screen as well. When you first go into the course, you enter it into the announcements page, and this is where I post announcements that are meant to help you. They're meant to give you some additional information that you need to succeed. The first announcement that I posted is a welcome video for you, and then also my promise to you as your instructor, and then also what I'm kind of looking for you as a student. The next announcement that I posted is a quick slideshow that goes over a couple of quick points for you that can help you succeed. First of all, we have a abundance of resources for you. We run assignment workshops every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. That is Eastern time. So if you are looking to attend, make sure that you're attending on time, because they are live workshops in Eastern time. We have instructor drop-in office hours, which is right here in this area of the course menu, which I'll show you in a little bit. We have Tutor Me, which you can click on right here. If you click on Tutor Me, that will bring you to an option to connect with live tutors on demand. Center for Academic Success is our one-on-one support that we provide within the university, and you can call that number here to connect with them. Additionally, I put the IT support number here, so you can call that if you need anything. Now, Office 365, because we're going to be going over this during the course, and because you're going to need this program throughout your entire degree program here, I really recommend that you download your desktop version, which means that it's actually housed on your computer, and I'll show you where you can find that. And then lastly, we have Grammarly and Academic Writer. You can set up free student accounts, and that is just by clicking on Grammarly and Academic Writer here. You can see that you can set up a free Grammarly premium account. A lot of your instructors will also use that as well, so you're kind of leveling the playing field, so to say, by being able to write in a way that elevates your mechanics of writing, while also using a program that a lot of instructors use to help us grade as well. Let me go back to the announcements. And we have a recommended workflow, and I'll talk about that a little bit too as we get into the units. But I recommend starting with the readings and resources, because that is what informs everything that you are being asked to do. So readings and resources are going to give you all the information that you need in order to answer discussion boards, fulfill any sort of assignments or knowledge checks. The discussion boards, because your initial post from Units 2 through Units 8 are going to receive the most points if you post by Wednesday, I recommend putting that second. That way you can maximize participation points. From there, the simulation will largely focus, at least for this course, will largely focus on how to perform the tasks within the assignment. It'll be a very brief video, and I will also provide some more in-depth videos for that as well. Then the knowledge check, and then discussion board replies, and this recommended workflow really starts with how to manage your time the most effectively. Within the discussion boards, I always recommend following a particular formula, and that is to provide a little bit of context. So when you're answering a question, describe the scenario that it relates to. So if we're asking you, how can you use Word within your career? Remind the class what your career is. That way you're providing that context up front. From there, you can give specific examples, and then you can also talk about benefits. Now, the discussion board is supposed to represent our time together in class. So what we really recommend is that you demonstrate what you learned from the course in there. And again, that's why I recommend doing the readings and resources first, because you are demonstrating what you learned from those readings and resources, and then also connecting to the how and the why when you are creating your content. Another thing that I look for within the discussion boards is that you sign your posts with either your first name or your preferred name. So I am really big on that. I will factor that into grading starting in Unit 2. But signing your name is a form of professional communication, and it also reminds everybody what your name preference is. So if somebody has a nickname, we might not see everybody's post from week to week, and we might not remember name preferences from week to week. So it's important for me that I'm maintaining an environment where everybody is respecting everybody's names or preference for names. Within your replies, I know a lot of what I see in the early part of the course are one-sentence replies. So replies do need to be at least 3 to 5 sentences in length, and the reflect, add, ask format is what gives each of your sentences a strategic purpose. I recommend this format because it will help you get the most points. So please take a look at these slides, get familiar with these things, because taking a few minutes to do that now will really set you up for success as this course moves along. Now this right here, we have our course menu, and like I said, you start in the announcements. Course information is where you can go to read a little bit about the course. You can download your syllabus. I recommend starting with your syllabus every time you take a course, because that is going to give you all the information that you need to know about the course, including the materials. For us, our book is within the readings and resources. So all the books, all the readings and resources you need are within that one section. It tells you how your grades are being broken down, and we also have an outline of what we are going to cover from week to week. And you can see that we do have 8 units, and we have an 8-week long term. So each unit is 1 week in length. As far as the late work policy, our discussion boards do have a timing criterion for them. They do need to be submitted within the week of the unit. For everything else, I am allowed to offer full points, and I do also allow multiple attempts. So my focus throughout this course is really to help you maximize your productivity by mastering these tasks. From there, we have the Office download, which it says that is optional. I really highly recommend that you download your free student version of Microsoft 365. We have one here for Mac, we have one here for Windows, and then we have instructions for Chromebook as well. So if you were to click on one of these, you'll come up to a website with the video that actually shows you exactly how to download that. Now that is going to be your desktop version, and like I said, the web version means that you have to be connected to the web and to the internet, and actually specifically through your student portal. The desktop version is just on your computer, so you can open up Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, any of those programs on your computer itself. It's a lot more convenient, it's a lot easier to store files, and it's a lot more manageable for you. So once again, I highly recommend downloading this. It's free for you as a student here, and it's going to help you throughout your entire degree program. Now in the next tab, we have Meet the Instructors. So this is a little bit of information about me. This is also where you can reach me, and a little bit of my biography. And then we have the Ask the Instructor forum. This is a place where it's kind of works like a discussion board, but it's really meant for you to ask questions for me. Now, this is a public forum, so everybody who is in the course can see it. So please do not post anything here that you don't want anybody else to read. If there's a question about grades, what I'll most likely do is I'll acknowledge your post on here, but then I'll let you know that I'll be sending you an email because I can't discuss student grades in a public forum. The next thing that we have is some information about 7th edition of APA, so you can kind of check this out a little bit. And it is really just helping you in how to format a paper and how to set your paper up. There aren't a lot of papers for this course, but it is good information to know. Instructor drop-in office hours is a link where you can open that up. And within all of these time slots, there should be a live instructor who teaches CIS110 inside of that Teams meeting room. So you can click on any of these. It will bring you into that room. You can connect with an instructor in real time. A lot of times I will answer emails within 24 hours, but this can be a really quick and efficient way to get an answer to a question. So if you do have a question and there's a time slot available, I highly recommend using this. Now, each unit has its own page, and like I said, we have 8 units. Each unit will open up on a Monday, and it will close on Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. When you click on the unit, we have a little introduction of what this unit is on. It's going to include what our objectives for the unit are and what our activities for the units are. Each unit will have its own readings and resources. You can click on that and you can see here that we have our textbook. We have the chapters that we're asking you to read, and then sometimes there will be some videos as well. From there we have our knowledge check. So you can click on knowledge check, and because I actually have one that's in progress, I would press continue. For you, it would be start. And that is just a quick quiz that is based upon the readings and resources. From here, we have our journal. And I get a lot of questions about how to create a journal post, so I'm going to show you that here. But each activity will have a link to what it is. When it's due, there'll be rubrics for it. And I recommend looking at the rubrics because the rubric really tells you specific instructions, especially for assignments. For this one, it's a pretty simple thing. You either answer both of the questions, one of the questions, or none of the questions. So it's important to start there. And if we were to click on journal, you can see our journal rubric here again. We can also see the questions that we are being asked to answer, and it's important that you're answering both of those. From here, we can click on Create Journal Entry. You can give it a title. And this journal is private between you and me. So anything that you write here is not going to be visible to your class. And that's important because we're asking you how I can help you as your instructor. So if there's something that you would really like to see from me as your instructor, this is the place to let me know. You want to answer both questions here. And then when you are done, you can click on Post Entry. And then you can see that your post has been successfully added. Now let's go back to the Unit 1 page. The next thing that we have is our discussion board. So we can click on the discussion board here, and we can see our discussions. I can also click on discussions here in the course menu. Right now, all you can see is the Unit 1 discussion because that is what is open. We can also see that we have the Ask the Instructor forum here as well. Next week, when Unit 2 opens, we will be able to see the Unit 2 discussion board and everything that was open previously. And then as each week opens up, you'll be able to see that particular week and everything before it. You can also access the course journal from the menu here as well. Now the discussion board, you can create a post the same exact way. You just go into the discussion, click on create thread, and then you can give it a title. This is where you want to answer your questions, and this is where I really recommend that you follow that formula that I gave you in order to make sure that you are writing in a descriptive way, that you're providing specific examples, you're connecting it to benefits. So this is really where we are taking our classroom time, and you are using the readings and resources to show what you learned and also to apply it towards how it can really be relevant to real life. I'm going to cancel that, and you can see right now that we do have access to all of these unit pages. As it comes up, we only have limited visibility over certain things. So right now, we can see what the discussion question is going to be for Unit 2, but we don't have the ability to post into the Unit 2 discussion yet. So that will open up, like I said, on Monday at, I believe it's midnight or 12:01, and Unit 2 will all of a sudden have all the additional components on it. So the assignment, knowledge check, simulations, all those things that are specific to each unit will open up on that Monday. So right now you're only able to see certain things within each of the units. One of the things that I do want to point out again is the discussion board rubrics. The rubric for Unit 1 is very different than the rubric for Unit 2. I'm going to go over the rubric for Unit 2 because it has those additional components. You get the most points for posting by Monday. You get the most points by posting by Wednesday, rather, at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Your initial post content, this is where we decide whether or not you had answered all the questions and to what degree all of those questions were answered. We look for 2 replies in Units 2 through Unit 8, and those replies really need to continue the discussion, and you can see what the instructions are for it here. This is why I recommend the Reflect, Add, Ask format. And then for professional communication, this is spell check, professional, respectful writing, and then also, like I said, adding your closing and signature. For me, I just use regards, Elton, sincerely, Jane, something like that is perfect. Now, on the next page, we can see how all of these criteria are translated into points. So when instructors are grading, we're not just deciding whether we think that this looks like a 60% or 100%. We're taking each of the criteria and we are deciding whether or not these descriptions were met. And then we will select those tiers based upon the work that you put forward. Now the next thing that we have is My Grades, and I've done a couple of things so far that I can show you what your grade book is going to look like. As you finish your assignments, you'll see a couple of different options here. We have our weighted grade, which is your overall grade up to this point. If there's anything with a blue circle, as you can see, I can hover over it and it's telling you that it's in progress. That means that you started the activity, but you did not complete it. So you need to go in and complete that in order for it to count. What I need to do the Wednesday following the units, starting when I do the Unit 2 grading, is enter zeros for anything that was not completed on time. And that 0 can be a placeholder. So I do accept late work, like I said. I do have to add a grade because everything does need to be filled in. But if I do see a blue circle like this without a grade next to it, that means that you did not successfully complete that activity and you need to go back in and complete that. So the blue circle means that you need to go back in. And I see that a lot with knowledge checks. I also see it a lot with simulations as well. For the discussion board, I graded myself on this one so that you can see what your grade looks like. This is the grade that was assigned for it, and this little chat bubble means that I have left feedback for you. So anytime that you see this little chat bubble, I recommend clicking on that, and you can see some specific guidance that I'm going to give you. And what I really try to do is focus on what you did right, why it was right, and where your opportunities for improvement are, but to also give you some specific guidance in order to help you reinforce your success as you move forward. So if you are looking for this feedback and incorporating that feedback, then you will be really successful here. Another thing that you can do within these is click on View Rubric, and once something is already graded, you'll see that you can see your tiers. If I have left feedback within the rubric itself, you can also see that here. I don't usually do that for discussion boards, but I will do that for a couple of the assignments. For some of the things that have a lot of steps, I'll give feedback on each step. So I do recommend opening the rubric just to check to see whether or not there's feedback here. If I do that, I will usually let you know within the feedback to learner that you can see within that chat bubble. Now for the Unit 1 journal, you can see as part of this video that we did create a journal entry, but I haven't graded it yet. So we have a little exclamation point icon here. As we hover over, it says that it needs grading. So this is one way that you can see that you have submitted work. And you can do that again just by clicking on My Grades. That will bring you to your grade book. And this is where I really recommend checking the status of your grades. Every once in a while, Blackboard might tell you that either a simulation or one of the automated activities has not been completed. If you ever receive one of those, just come into My Grades and check it here. This is what really counts. If you have any questions on a status, please feel free to email me and let me know. Let's see. Next we have College Success Resources. So here's some information for you to go through. We have stuff on Google Scholar, the library, academic writing, and some videos to help you. Information on discussion boards, academic integrity. It's really important that if you are doing research to support your posts and you use something that you find online to support your own ideas, you have to give credit to the original source. If you're using something like ChatGPT, that is allowed to use as long as the work that you submit is your own. So you can't just copy and paste whatever you find and then use that for your discussion boards. It is very noticeable when students do that. So it's important that you are taking that and then kind of putting things into your own words, using those as a springboard for ideas and supplementing your thoughts. And when you do that, just provide a reference to whatever source you use so that way you're giving credit where it's due. And then you can avoid any sort of academic integrity issue. Let's see here. Let's go down to university policies next. I'm just going to open this one in a new tab. All of our policies and procedures are listed right here, and I highly recommend that you go through and get accustomed with what your expectations are. So like I said, generative artificial intelligence, academic integrity, copyright protection, all of the policies and procedures that you need to know are listed right here in this page. Tutor Me, like I said, is something that is available to you on demand. You can get started here. It is paid for by your school, so it does not come at any additional cost to you. It is included in the cost of your tuition. So if you need to connect with a tutor because you need some help on some of these topics, you can do that here, or like I said previously, you can also do that at the Center for Academic Success, which is actually within our school. And we also have Grammarly and Academic Writer. Like I said, you can go into here and find out the information that you need in order to set up accounts. And once again, the Grammarly Premium setup, that is included in your tuition here, so you can receive your free Grammarly Premium account and be able to really use that to elevate your writing. Grammarly is really great because not only will it help you with spelling, it will help you with grammar. It will recommend rephrasing sentences based upon how it might sound better, based upon what level of writing you're looking to do, what you're actually looking to do with your writing. It is actually powered with artificial intelligence that will help you structure your writing the way that you need to in order to write at an academic level. So that, in a nutshell, is the course. All right. hopefully this navigation will help you in being able to go through the course, and hopefully it will also be able to help you with understanding the expectations that we have for you for this course. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm here to help you succeed, and I hope that this was a good starting point for you. Take care, everyone.